Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Maxine and I like to teach people how to sew and draft patterns. Today I'm going to show you how to make this super easy wrap skirt. So this project you can do in under an hour. If you're new to the world of pattern making and sewing, this is the perfect project. It is super easy. The pattern is also so easy. I will show you step by step how to draft the circle skirt pattern and the flounce pattern as well. If you like sewing videos like this, please remember to like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So let's go over everything that we're going to use. You're going to need your fabric. So depending on your length, you'll need about between 1 meter up to 2 meters, depending on the length that you choose. You will need a measuring tape, your fabric scissor, and then you'll need a paper scissor as well, your pins, a ruler, a clear pattern making ruler like this, a fabric marker, make sure it is erasable and not permanent, pencil, then you'll need some pattern paper, some cotton, and then some round objects, so like tape or anything that's circular. It'll make sense later in the pattern when I show you how to make the flounce. And then of course you'll need your sewing machine and overlocker, your serger. So I'll be showing you how to draft the pattern from scratch and then how to sew it. So we will need two measurements. We're going to need your waist measurement and then the length that you want. So waist measurement, you're going to measure about 2 centimeters above your belly button. And then when you measure yourself, you should still be able to fit a finger underneath. So don't measure too tight and don't measure too loose. Then you're going to measure from where you just measured to the length that you want. So this is easier if you've got somebody to help you measure. So just measure, and then for the sample I'm going to go 50 centimeters, but you can go longer or shorter. So this is what the pattern will look like. We will do a half circle skirt. So the only thing we need to calculate is the radius. So we will take that waist measurement we just measured plus 15 and then divide that by 3.14. That is our radius measurement. And then later on we will curve the front like I demonstrated over here. So let's get started. Start by drawing a 90-degree corner on your paper and then place your radius measurement on that corner, and then you just turn the measuring tape all the way around and then just mark the edge of the tape until you get a circle like this, and then just connect it. That will be our waistline. Then from that curve we're going to draw in the length that we have measured. Then we can just curve the front as I'm demonstrating over here. This will be the front wrap over piece. Then we need to go ahead and measure the front hemline. So all the way around that curve, right up to the center back. Make a note of that measurement somewhere as we will need that for the flounce. And then the back will be unfolded and then we can cut the pattern out. So now we will start with the flounce. You can use any round object, like the tape is perfect size. Just trace around that. And then we're going to measure 10 centimeters all the way around that circle. We'll start by drawing a spiral like I'm showing, and then in line where you start that spiral, you're going to start by measuring 10 centimeters again. And then we'll carry on drawing the spiral, and then we need to measure. So that measurement that we measured on the hem of the skirt, we want to make sure that the flounce is the same measurement. So when they line up, we can just draw a 10 centimeter straight line and finish drawing the spiral and then cut it off completely. It will almost look like a snail's shell in the end when the pattern is done. Now we can fold our fabric selvage to selvage. Then we're going to draw the waistband onto the fabric. So the measurement will be 10 centimeters by 150 centimeters. And we need 2 of these bands. If your waist measurement is bigger than 130 centimeters, then I recommend cutting 3 of these waistbands. Once that is done, we can trace off the skirt and then make sure that your center back is on the fold of the fabric. Then we can trace off the spiral pattern. We need 2 of these spirals. So we'll start by sewing the straight edges of the flounce together first, 1 centimeter, and then we'll overlock them as well. Once that is sewn, we need to hem the flounce. So all the way around the curve, we need to hem it. You can either do a baby hem or you can do a roll hem. I'll be doing a roll hem with my overlocker. The roll hem works so beautifully with the flounce. It just adds to the shape of the flounce kicking out that curve. But if you're not comfortable doing the roll hem, you can also just do overlocking and top stitch. Then we'll take that flounce and we're going to pin it all the way around the skirt. The flounce must fit perfectly onto the skirt, so make sure that you're not easing it in. So don't pull on the flounce too much and don't pull on the skirt. So it should fit exactly if your measurements line up. When the flounce is pinned in, then we can sew 1 centimeter all the way around and then afterwards overlock that seam as well. Make sure that you pull the flounce flat as you sew, that you don't sew any bubbles into the flounce. Then remember to always press your seams as you sew. So now this is what the skirt will look like. If you want to, you can do a top stitch on that skirt to hold the flounce down, but I prefer to have it smooth like this. Now we'll move on to the waistband. So we're going to take 1 inch on each of the waistbands and then we're going to sew them 1 centimeter together and then press that seam open. Then we'll go ahead and press the whole waistband in half. Then we need to find the center of the waist of the skirt and then just leave a pin there and then find the center of the waistband as well, and then we're going to match these 2 points up. Pin them together and then pin both ways. When you're done with that, then we can go ahead and sew 1 centimeter attaching the waistband to the skirt. Then we need to sew the sides of the waistband. So I'm going to attach right sides together only up to where the waistband meets the skirt. We're not going to sew the skirt and the waistband together yet. Leave that open. Just sew both sides of the waistband for now. Then when you have both sewn up, then we need to push it inside out. So if you don't have a loop turner, you can do it by hand as well. So as I'm showing over here, I'm just pushing the waistband through itself basically and then pulling it out. Then if you've got a loop turner, it's much easier. You can just pull it all the way through. Then we'll press both sides of the waistband flat, and then from there we need to press that seam of the skirt up into the waistband, and then the top edge of the waistband we will fold in 1 centimeter, and then from there we will fold the waistband down, making sure that that edge covers the old stitching line. Then we can go ahead and pin that waistband, and then again make sure that you keep everything in line. Then we'll just do a very quick basting stitch. So this is just to hold the seam together, so nothing fancy, just a quick straight line, and then we will top stitch by machine. Make sure that your stitch length is slightly bigger, about 3 millimeters or 3.5 for top stitching. Once you've got the waistband top stitch, then you can pull out your basting stitch. So that is how I sew my wrap skirts. If you liked today's video, please remember to like and subscribe and let me know what you want to see next. Thank you so much for watching.